Clock leans heavy on the wall now. Every second knows my name. I stopped asking why it happened. Stopped negotiating pain. The mirror learned to keep my secrets. Doesn't flinch when I pass by. There's a calm behind my tired eyes that never learned to cry. Winter stayed, but so did I. Not to fight, just to remain. Let the cold refine the feeling. Let it temper what was flame. Those incredible nights were real. They don't vanish, they transform. Like a song you hum forever once the crowd is gone. Somewhere spring is only waiting for the nerve to be allowed. But I won't rush what's still unfolding. I don't need it here, not now. There's dignity in empty tables, in the last glass poured with care, in the way the room exhales once nobody's there. If tomorrow brings another sound, I'll let it in, I'll let it roam. But if silence stays beside me, I've learned how to call it home. Snow keeps falling on the same street, but nothing feels the way it did. The bar open, lights are softer, like they're tired of what they hid. A slow piano warms the silence. Coast drip water on the floor. Every sound feels accidental, like we've been here before. Winter's day, the fire's gone, but the music still remains. Strong emotions turn to echoes, drifting slowly through the pain. Those incredible nights still breathe in the corners of my mind. But solitude now pours the drinks and takes its time. Old songs play but sound different, like they've learned to age with me. feels more transparent, every joy less easy to see. Faces blur into the shadows, names dissolve into the cold. What once felt untouchable now feels careful and controlled. Winter stayed, the crowd moved on. Only memories hold the light. Every bar still tells a story of a different kind of night. Snow piles up along the windows. Time slows down between the bars. Loneliness no longer whispers. Now it speaks like it's in charge. But inside the quiet moments, there's a strength I didn't plan. Learning how to sit with silence like an honest, patient friend. Cold hands, steady breath, less desire, deeper depth. If the noise don't come back soon, I'll survive this quiet tune. Winter holds me in its tone, but I'm not afraid anymore. If this song forgets to end, let it rest here on the floor. Neon hums like tired breathing above a door that won't decide if it's closing for the evening or just learning how to hide. The bartender knows my posture, knows the weight I like to carry, doesn't ask me where I've been or if I plan on staying. A trumpet coughs in the distance, misses notes on purpose now. Every flaw feels more human, every silence knows how. Winter stayed, but something shifted, not the room, but how I stand. I don't chase the heat I lost, I warm what's in my hands. Those incredible nights still echo, but they don't demand a name. They sit softly in the corner, unashamed. to feel the empty minutes, the space between each sound. Now I let them stretch their legs, let them wander around. There's a grace in unresolved chords, in a song that won't behave, like a truth you don't explain, but slowly learn to save. The window frames the snowfall like it's staged for someone else. I stopped needing an audience to justify myself. No applause, no disguise, just a rhythm that survives. If the room forgets my face, let it be. I stay long enough to stay with me. I stay long enough to stay with me. With the curtains, but I'm in no rush to go. Night still owes me conversation, and I let it talk me slow. The past taps twice, then backs away, learns I won't pretend. Some doors don't need reopening to know how they end. There's a wisdom in low ceilings, and a laugh that doesn't lend, in admitting some desires were never meant to stand. Winter stayed, the flame grew quiet. Didn't I just learn control? Fire doesn't always dance, sometimes it holds. Those incredible nights were lessons, not a debt I have to pay. I don't miss who I was then. I thank him, then walk away. Then walk away. The jukebox hums like an old friend, repeats what it already knows. Every song a different weather, every pause a place to go. I trace circles on the table where my glass once used to sweat. Some things leave without goodbye, and that's alright, I've learned it yet. I used to need the ache to prove that something here was real. Now I trust the quieter truth of what I feel. If winter wants to keep this key, I won't argue, I won't plead. I built a room inside the cold where I can breathe. So let the song outlive the night, let it linger unresolved. Some melodies were never meant to be solved. To be solved. like it's learned to let things be. Ashtrays full of second chances. No one's rushing, not even me. The piano wears its quiet proudly. Key still warm but barely speak. Every note asks for permission before it dares to be unique. The floor remembers every dancer, even those who never move. Some stayed frozen in the moment, others slipped away. Its edge, cold can soften when it waits. Some hearts don't break, they reorganize around their weight. Those incredible nights don't haunt me. They don't knock, they don't intrude. They sit like smoke above the bar. Understood. Mistaking noise for meaning, stop begging rooms to care. Now I listen to the ceiling, to the truth hiding there. There's a language in exhaustion that the young don't recognize. It speaks in smaller sentences, but never lies. The clock gave up its authority. Time behaves when left alone. I don't measure where I'm going, just how deeply I have grown. No rush left, no disguise, just a night that doesn't ask me why. If tomorrow never shows, I'm fine here with the song and the glow. Snow dissolves against the sidewalk. Morning threatens but stay shy. The city clears its throat outside. I don't answer, I let it try. I learned the cost of staying open and the price of closing doors. Some love teaches through absence more than presence ever could before. There's respect in unfinished endings and letting silence win the frame. Some things don't need resolution to remain. Winter stayed and so did calm. Not the kind that sleeps too deep, the kind that knows what it can lose and still keeps. Those incredible nights were chapters, not the spy, not the whole book. I don't reread them for escape, just to look. If the music fades completely, let it fade without regret. Some songs exist to teach us how to rest. Lamps grow tired one by one, like they've said enough's a night. Even shadows start to loosen their grip on borrowed light. The room feels wider when it empties. Chairs lean closer to the walls. Every sound becomes a decision. Every silence stands tall. I hear my steps before I take them, learn their rhythm on the floor. Some paths don't lead you somewhere, they teach you how to pause. Winter stayed but lost its voice. No need left to prove it's strong. Cold becomes a kind of patience when it's held too long. Those incredible nights don't call me, they don't pull me back inside. They nod once from a distance, satisfied. To borrow other people's hours to avoid my own reflection. Now I spend them carefully, like an urn collection. There's a truth in half-empty glasses, in knowing when to stop, in letting the last note tremble before it drops. Just a night that understands. If I leave before the light, it's alright. I stayed present all the way through the night. The door remembers every exit, but never takes it personal. Some things aren't rejection, they're just seasonal. Snow thins out along the curbs now, footprints blur into a line. What I was stops chasing what I am. There's relief in not arriving. stage stands bare between the sets. No hands, no clinking glass, just the hum of something waiting that refuses to be passed. The microphone forgives the dust. It's learned what voices cost. Some words arrive too early, others understand they're lost. I rest my coat on borrowed time, let the night adjust its pace. Some truths only show their shape when they're given space. When to stay but soften still, not retreating, just aware. Cold can learn to share a room with care. Those incredible nights don't shimmer, they don't beg to be replayed. They settle gently into memory. Unafraid. I stopped mistaking movement for progress, stopped racing toward a sound. Some roads are made of standing still with grace you haven't found. The ceiling lowers its expectations, lets me breathe the way I am. There's a quiet form of courage in not needing a plan. The bar reflects in polished wood, a double life of grain and light. What I see doesn't argue back, it just stays the night. No hurry now, no disguise, just a moment that arises. If this pause lasts longer than it should, I'll trust it, I always could. Outside dawn clears its throat again, but waits for my consent. I've learned the value of remaining where my heart is spent. Some endings don't announce themselves, they loosen, then let go, like a chord that stops resolving so it can glow. There's dignity in leaving slowly, in not proving you were here, in carrying less explanation each year. If the night folds up this room, I won't ask it to stay. Some chapters end between the lines that way. chairs are stacked but not in order, like they forgot how to leave. The room holds on to its echo, gently like it still believes. The register hums a low confession, coins and time mixed in its sound. Every night leaves something unpaid that isn't meant to be found. I lean against the bar in silence, feel the grain that meets my hand. Some places don't ask who you are, they help you understand. Winter stayed, but so did warmth, not the kind that burns or shines, the kind that waits inside your chest and learns with time. Those incredible nights feel distant, but they don't feel like a loss. They shape the way I stand now, at any cost. I stopped counting how much longer, stopped arguing with fate. Some answers only short when the questions learn to wait. The mirror dims the overhead, returns a quieter face, not older, just more familiar with its place. The city sighs behind the glass, traffic moves like it's unsure, even motion feels optional when stillness feels secure. No demand, no refrain, just a pulse that remains. If I never leave this hour, it's fine. I learned how to live inside the time. begins to lose its hold. I don't rush to name the moment, I just let it unfold. Some mornings don't feel like beginnings, more like truth without disguise. The light doesn't interrupt me, it arrives. There's peace in staying unremarkable, in not needing to be seen, knowing who you are alone between. If winter loosens, I'll step forward. If it stays, I'll stay aligned. Some seasons don't need leaving to be buildings up near the ceiling, like it's holding what was said. Every laugh that missed its landing, every word that never led. I fold the night into my jacket, carry less than I before. Some nights are meant to end, they soften at the core. The piano rests its hands now, doesn't need to make a case. Silence learned to sit upright and hold its place. Winter stayed but feels familiar, not a guess, not quite a test. Cold becomes a form of shelter when it's pressed. Those incredible nights don't sparkle, they don't ache, they don't accuse. They settle like old photographs you don't I used to fill the gaps with motion, with another drink, another sound. Now I let the pauses breathe, let them circle me around. There's a discipline in waiting, in not asking what comes next, in trusting that the quiet knows what to protect. The walls don't lean in anymore, they've heard just a moment, doing fine. If the world stays out tonight, that's alright. I stayed in long enough to see the light. Doorway learns to knock without insistence. Some endings earn their meaning through resistance. I gather what the night left loose, not regret, not pride, just a steadier alignment. Inside there's comfort in the ordinary, in the way the dark recedes without apology or needs. If winter keeps its distance now, I won't ask it what it meant. Some chapters teach us how to stand unbent. The night stops checking its reflection. Lets the dark remain unshaped. Every corner finds its purpose. Once it knows, it won't escape. The cold rack leans like an old witness, seen too much to intervene. Some truths don't ask for justice, we just need to be seen. I breathe slower than the room now, that's its unassuming pace. Nothing here is asking more than its place. Winter stayed what stopped insisting, lost the need to dominate. Cold becomes a form of listening when it learns to wait. Those incredible nights feel settled, like a count's already closed. I don't revisit them for comfort, I let them repose. not improve, just align. Some groove doesn't change your posture, it clears your mind. Outside footsteps hesitate, unsure where they belong. I don't follow every sound anymore. I choose which ones I call my song. No rush left, no defense, just a night that makes sense. If the silence asks me nothing, I'll respond. I've learned how not to Snow gives up its sharpest edges, turns to memory underfoot. What once cut now only marks where I stood. I don't need to name the season or explain what changed in me. Some understanding happens quietly. A bar prepares for morning without ceremony. I stand before the door. Oh, finally, if winter fades without goodbye, I will search for what it was. Some chapters leave no trace behind the dark thins out without drama, like it knows when to retreat. Every shadow finds a corner soft enough to leave. The counter's cool beneath my fingers, reminds me I'm awake. Some nights don't steal your energy, they teach you what to take. The room no longer feels abandoned, just just complete in what it is. Nothing missing, nothing added, nothing to dismiss. When to stay, then learn to loosen. Not defeated, just sincere. Cold becomes a kind of teacher, year by year. Those incredible nights feel honest. No distortion, no disguise. They don't glow, they don't accuse. They quietly testify. I hear the city clearing its throat, preparing for the day. But I'm not done listening to what the night might say. There's a dignity in last arrivals, in being almost late, in choosing not to hurry when the world accelerates. I don't bargain with the future or rehearse what could be lost. I stand exactly where I am and count the cost. No warning, no sign, just a moment holding time. If this calm breaks later on, that's fine. I learned how to stay when it's mine. The door unlocks without resistance. Morning doesn't rush inside. Light behaves like a guest who knows why they were invited. I gather nothing from the tables. No regret, no proof, just the weight of being present. Chapters close without language, without symbols, without sound. They don't end, they simply stop, turning around. If winter steps aside today, I won't chase what's left behind. I'll carry this quiet forward as mine. for answers. It learned how to remain. Every object keeps its distance from regret, from gain. The chairs don't argue with the morning, they accept the coming change. Some nights finish what they started by staying strange. I stand where music used to gather, feel the echo leave my chest. Not empty, just rearranged at rest. Winter stayed, then loosened grip. Didn't promise, didn't swear. Cold becomes a shared condition when you care. Those incredible nights feel simple, stripped of shine, stripped of demand. They rest like facts you don't explain, you understand. I don't search the room for meaning. Meaning stopped hiding here. It settled into ordinary things, a breath, a year. The floor remembers every ending without judging what it was. Some exits don't require courage, just pause. I no longer need the silence to justify my weight. I let it pass straight through me unlate. No resolve, no claim, just a night, unashamed. If the song forgets its form, let it do so. I'm not alone. Morning doesn't ask permission, it just arrives and stays. Light falls evenly on everything without praise. I don't rush to gather remnants or decide what this meant. Some understanding happens after it's spent. There's a kindness in neutrality in the way things end, without insisting on becoming more than men. If winter fades into the day,